with this, you'll be able to see the various ways that you can use it. Again, I remember I said for an oval surface, I recommend a Shore D gauge that has a much smaller end, okay? So as I said, the Shore D gauge is suitable for hard plastics. This is HDPE, so I should be able to get a reading on this. So I'm gonna reset my gauge. I'm gonna find a spot that's smooth, and I'm gonna set it down and make sure I've got a good reading. It gave me a reading of 63. Okay, that's not bad. This is an epoxy, okay? This epoxy is fairly smooth, but it does have uneven surfaces. So I could try to do those uneven surfaces and I'm gonna get weird numbers. In fact, I'm gonna try to do that right now, okay? So I'm reset it back to 0. I'm gonna get over where those weird surfaces are and I'm gonna press down. And I got a 50, okay? That's because it's uneven right here. Now, if I do the same thing and I move it over to where it's smooth and I press down, now it's an 86. Oops, it's an 86, which is where it should be, okay? That's for the epoxy. Bore-Wrap can be used once it's over 65 Shore D, but that's not the ultimate Shore D. The ultimate Shore D is about an 80, okay? So if I take this measurement, I reset it, and I put it on here, and I just willy-nilly choose something, and I press down, I got a 64, which on the books is not cured. But this is years old, years. It's been fully cured for a long time. The problem is there's grooves from where the compression film set in, where there's different layer counts, different things like that. So if I am strategic and I find a high point and I press it in on the high point, now I've got 79, okay? Now, just like here, if I were to go like this, it's flat, but it dipped into the hole. These are holes, all these grooves, that's a place for the little needle to fall into. You wanna make sure you're not in one of those grooves. If you're in one of those grooves, your number's gonna be low, okay? I'm just gonna move around until I'm in a groove. I'm in a groove. I set down, see what I get. Oh, lucky I got 71, okay? But that's not always the case. I had 64 earlier, and this is a fully cured piece, and it's very smooth. Over here, I'm gonna find one of these older grooves, press in, and I got 72, right? But if I move it over a little bit to the high point, press down right there on that high point, and now I'm at an 83. So keep that in mind. For a curved surface, you want a smaller foot so you can get as flat as possible on it, okay? You want to make sure you're not on a low area. Now on this uneven spot, I could fit that needle right on the top of an uneven spot and I'm going to get a high number. Look at that, 87, 88, something like that, okay? That's what the hardness is of this epoxy. But that's because I was on the high point, not on the low point. If it's on the low point and I press in, I'm only going to get maybe 60, okay? That's not the Shore D of this. That's why you want to take multiple readings to make sure that you got the right reading. And this is not going to cure in an uneven way.